Hi, my name is John. Welcome to another Vevor tool review. This time I'm going to be reviewing an adjustable angle plate to use on a milling machine. Before I start, I want to make one or two things perfectly clear. I don't work for Vevor, I don't get paid by Vevor. What I do get is to keep the angle plate after I finish doing the review. I suppose that's the payment I get for doing the review. What you're going to get here is an honest and true review. If it's shite, I'll just say it's shite. Simple as that. There's no bullshit. This is real world. I'm going to do a review on it. I've opened the box, I've lifted it out. I'm not into box opening at the minute. I'll bring the camera in, we'll have a look at it, see how it works. We'll do some measurements, see how accurate it is, and then we'll actually use it and machine something with it. First impressions are very good. If it was like quality having to do with weight, it wins, because the bastard thing is very heavy, very, very robust, very strongly made. I'll bring the camera in and let's have a look and see exactly what you get for your, believe it or not, 85 quid. That's delivered to the door, 85 quid. I've got no idea how they do it, such a cheap price, but that's what it is. This is exactly how the little table arrived. It's covered in like a protective grease, was well packaged in a very heavy duty cardboard box. You get with it a little handle, cast iron handle, square drive that fits onto a little drive piece underneath there. You also get a spanner, which you might as well throw away by the look of it, and you get a little brush, I suppose, for dusting chips off, which it's a little brush. That's exactly what it is. It's got standard 12mm T-slots. My nuts fit, no problem at all. This is a 10-inch table because it's 10 inches long. They also do a 7-inch table, which is all scaled down in proportion to the 10-inch. This is just going to fit my machine. It's just on the edges there, but it is on, and I'd be tempted to use this one as opposed to the smaller one. Looking at the top, there's a little mark in there. It's been ground. All the edges have been deburred nicely, because normally you get sharp, raggy edges. They have been deburred. It's got a scale on there, which is just going to get you somewhere near. You'd be using a protractor or a sine bar to set it up properly. It's sitting on the table. It's not rocking. That's always a good sign. It means at the bottom must be reasonably flat. I'll turn it over. And that is sounds a pound, not rocking neither. That's the worm, and that's the rack for adjusting it. It's actually got a bearing race on that end. There's two 17mm bolts under here, which lock the table. Loosen them off. That fits onto there, and it turns it. There's loads of backlash in it. It doesn't matter, because once you get the angle set, you're going to be tightening it up. It just makes it more controllable than trying to rock it with a big heavy vise on. The head of my milling machine does tilt, but it tilts that way. I can use this to tilt it that way, and I can machine longer bits. See, it's on the limit of the machine, but it is on the machine. There's quite a lot of dirt on here. It'll need taking apart, cleaning and putting back together, and a little bit of deburring done. I quite enjoy doing that sort of thing, and it makes you think sort of you know how it works. It puts a little personal touch onto it. But if you had a vise on there, it would be quite heavy, and that just stops it from rocking back and forward. You can see what I mean about how dirty it is. It does want stripping and cleaning. We'll clamp it down. I'll put a clock gauge on, see how flat the table is before we do any sort of cleaning up or prep work on it. These are the clamp bolts I use for my vise. I'm sure they'll do. Yeah, they'll be fine. And obviously you can clock it in that way to get it square. You can do anything you want with it, really. Basically, it's on, it's well onto the machine, so it's not going to give any problems. And simply putting a square on there is going to get you very near. See, it's got a scale on the far side, but that's on 0 there, and you've got all that. You'd obviously have to set it up with a clock gauge to get it so it was dead square, or dead level. It certainly isn't going to go anywhere. We'll put a clock gauge on it and do a few runs and see how flat it actually is. Right, we've got a clock gauge set up there. We'll set a 0 on it, just to show it is working. Right, 0. How do they do this for 80 quid? About a thou end to end. About a thou end to end. Absolutely nothing. Try it on this one. They should all be the same because obviously they're all ground on the same setting. Give them the same reading, about a thou, which is absolutely nothing. In fact, it's less than a thou. You could set this dead square, clamp the table onto the bed and machine the bottom, but honestly for the 1 thou it doesn't need to be. To set it up this way, you'd put a parallel on here, put the clock gauge on a parallel, wind it back and forward and adjust it until it was sitting nice and square. This is the sort of setup you'd use to throw it in that way. You can see it's obviously lying down at this side, so you would adjust it up or down until you got it where the clock gauge didn't move when you traverse across that way. It doesn't matter what sort of clock gauge you use, metric, imperial, anything, as long as it doesn't move, it means that you're running dead true. You can feel it's dead flat. There's no. Right, we'll clamp something on it and we'll do a little bit of milling just to see how it actually performs. I've mounted one of my vices onto the angle plate. I've put a bit of aluminium bar in. Suppose I want to machine a chamfer on that side, say a 45-degree chamfer. I've put a clock on it. It's running reasonably true. Depends how much time you want to spend setting up, how accurate it needs to be. If it is putting a chamfer on for a weld, it doesn't need to be that accurate. Right, so they're loosened off. Simply wind in the angle we want. It has got graduations on the far side, but you'd use a protractor to get obviously the exact angle you wanted. So it's got free play on it. It doesn't matter, that's nothing, that's just all that's handled for is to stop it from flopping right over. Right, we'll lock it up with that. I'll put a cutter in here and we'll take a cut along there. Like I say, I'm limited with angling the head. I can only go on the y-axis, but with this I can go the full length basically. If I make a more elaborate clamping arrangement, obviously there's a little bit of flex in this. If it was clamped direct onto the table, it would be better again. This is set up with a face mill. You could put a chuck in there and put a drill in, so you could drill holes at whatever angle you wanted. You're putting steam ports into a steam cylinder block. I've seen me shimmying on and wedging things up, where this will make it absolutely, well, it'll make it a lot easier anyway. This is just one setup. That loads and loads of different things you could do with this table. Very versatile indeed. I'm sure you'll agree it does exactly what it's supposed to do. The parallel between that and that face absolutely amazed me. I've got no idea how they do it for the money. It does want stripping, cleaning, reassembling the way it should have been built in the first place, but obviously they're built to a price. Would I buy one for my workshop? Absolutely. I think it's amazing value for money. There's a link to this, the 10-inch one and the 7-inch one in the description box. There's also a discount code. Click a discount code, you'll get a little bit more off. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as I've enjoyed making it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.